Ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching week 3. We remain home, and we will be facing the Indianapolis Colts, first division game of the year. We're not wasting any time. Shane, start us up.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. Talking Titans.
Ward looking. Looping out of trouble. He's trying to set up receivers. He's going to throw against his body to the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Spectacular. Cam Ward, welcome to Nashville.
The sickest Tennessee Titans podcast. It's going to be sick.
That's a hell of an intro. That's our new intro.
And we were there.
Yes, we were there. The one and only Iron Eagle. Ooh, fun fact, I've met literally like 3 separate times around my mom's town here and at the airport a couple times. He's one of the best. I grew up with him. He was a Nets guy forever, and he works like all year round. He does all sports. But I'm so happy that call was from Iron Eagle because he's one of the best in the biz. But anyway, Jarett, how we doing today, my man?
Pretty good, man. I look like an offensive coordinator who I should be calling plays for because our offense is abysmal. So
yeah,
I'm looking forward to this weekend. Hopefully we'll get a win, but we'll see the predictions later on.
Yeah, I would take you or any one of your sons as the OC any day of the week. That's how bad things are. But we'll get into that in a sec. Before we do, let's take a special shout out to our great sponsors over at DraftKings. Game on. Week 3 starts now, and every touchdown brings you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. This isn't just football. It's first touchdown fireworks, anytime touchdown rushes, and live bets that ride every momentum shift. At DraftKings, every play is your next shot to win. New customers, this one's for you. Bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, grab over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Your season starts now. Download this DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 6SPORTS. That is code 6SPORTS to get $300 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first bet of $5 or more. Plus, like I mentioned, over $200 off Sunday Ticket from YouTube TV. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, fees may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday Ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday Ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday Ticket/terms. Limited time offer.
All right. We are back. Just took a quick snooze there. Before we get into the good stuff and this debacle that we're currently living in, this has got plenty of gambling aspects to it as much as it does about the Titans. So before we get into anything, Jarett, how about you start us off with your picks for this week going into week 3?
All right, I stumbled off the ladder real quick after we missed a one player by 5 yards. Lamar Jackson did not have a great game rushing. For all of a sudden, he wanted to rush in the third quarter, so we got kind of screwed there. And same thing with Trey Benson, couldn't get 25 yards. I think he came up 17. But nonetheless, we're going back with the 6 stack. We're going to turn 50 into 85. We're going to climb that ladder to $1,000. Shane, you want to throw up the 6 stack graphic? This week, I'm taking Bijan Robinson against Carolina Panthers, alternating it 75 yards rushing and receiving. He's averaging about 100 yards, 105 yards, I think, total for both of those. I'm taking also Troy Franklin. Bo Nix is basically half brother and favorite target now. It's assumptionally over there in Denver. He's averaging 40 yards, so I'm taking him over 25 yards receiving. And same thing with Puka Nacua. I think he's just going to keep the train rolling. He's averaging 5 catches, and I think he's averaging 80 yards. So that parlay, 3-leg parlay, minus 143, 50 pays you 85. Let's climb that ladder. Hopefully everybody tails on that. Leading into my parlay of the week. Doing something a little different here. I am taking the under 43.5 in the Titans-Colts game. I think this game is going to be very tight. It's a divisional game. I'm going to take the under.
And we can't score.
Yes, basically we can't score over 17 or 19 points or even cross the 20 threshold in points. So I'm taking the under in that game. Atlanta Falcons, I think they're going to Carolina, and I think they beat up on a division rival as well. So I'm going to sprinkle that on the money line. And the Steelers and Patriots going to be a dogfight. I see that a low-scoring game as well. I'm taking the under 44.5. So plus 436, $100 get you 536. That's my parlay of the week.
All right. Well, Sal's a little unprepared this week. I'll take it on the chin, but I'll do a quick glance here. And 3 games popped right up at me. So if you're interested in joining me or fading me, feel free. I love Green Bay minus 7.5. I love Washington minus 3. And that's Green Bay minus 7.5 on the road to Cleveland. Washington minus 3 home to Vegas. And Kansas City minus 6 against the Giants.
Showing love to Marcus Mariota.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh my goodness! I didn't even know that. I'm out of touch right now. JD5's hurt.
Yeah, he's out. That just came out a couple hours ago. I think he's not playing.
Wow.
Mariota is getting a start in Washington.
You know what? Fuck that. Washington money line. No. Washington minus 6.5. Add another 3.5 points.
Damn.
We're gonna win big. And by the way, I'm always on the bandwagon of taking points. This has never happened, but these 3 games, I mean, like you're telling me the Packers aren't going to beat the fucking. I mean, the Packers might be the best team in the league. They're not going to destroy Cleveland, and then the Chiefs are not going 0-3. There's no universe that's happening.
I'll be at that game too. So
yeah, that's an awesome game to be at. So yeah, that's not happening. And Mariota, forget it. Lock it in. Lock of the week, those 3. But moving on from that, what was our next topic we were going to talk about, Jay?
We got a new sponsor over there. If you see on the
yes.
bottom right-hand corner, it's Huel. First off, got to shout them out a little bit. They gave us all a little care package. They gave us a bottle for a shaker. They also gave us a 3-pound bag of protein. It has 35 grams of protein per serving and 400 calories. And also little bottle over here. Same thing, 35 grams of protein, 400 calories. I drink, obviously, this in the morning. I'm trying to bulk up and actually lose weight. So I'm treating this as a meal replacement. It's ridiculously good. They have chocolate, vanilla, iced coffee, strawberry, banana. So I've been drinking.
I gotta go get mine. We forgot.
Yeah, I totally forgot to give it to you when we left.
I could have
early morning. But listen, this stuff is really good. I got some of the guys that work onto it. I mean, grateful for them to be a new sponsor for us. So any sponsor is appreciated. So together, Huel makes healthy eating simple. Today, try today 15% off on new customers with my exclusive offer, and the code is SickTitans at Huel.com/SickTitans. Use the code and fill out at post checkout for the survey to help support our show. So that's our new sponsor, guys. Hopefully you check it out. And like I said, if you're looking to bulk up, if you're one of those guys, or if you're looking for a meal replacement, 35 grams of protein, 400 calories, some good stuff over here.
Absolutely. So moving on from that, listen, we got a game to talk about here. Another home matchup, probably a team that most people at the beginning of the year didn't really think was going to be much of an issue. Now, I'm not looking for praise, but I thought immediately after hearing Daniel Jones was a starter that they were going to be a thorn in a lot of people's side, and they're turning out to be much more than a thorn in many people's sides. I'm watching some tape on Daniel Jones, and it looks like another guy. Like, it doesn't even resemble the guy that played for the Giants, and that, unfortunately, just adds to our point that is, when you don't have the right surrounding talent as far as coaching is concerned, scheming is concerned, you're not going to get the best out of your player regardless of what their skill level is. There's only so much, what's the word I'm looking for is there's only so much making up stuff that a player can do to be able to get the ball down the field. Eventually the people that are supposed to be running certain routes, certain directions, that needs to work out too. And you're seeing a much different guy over there in Indiana. I love the nickname too, Indiana Jones. It's the coldest nickname in the NFL. But I'm pretty concerned about our chances to be even competitive in this game, Jarett. What do you think?
Yeah, just before we get into it, guys, if you like what we're talking about, just like the video, hype the video. There's a new little hype button over there in the comments. Shoot the shit with us in the comments, whether you agree, disagree, tell us the win losses with game predictions, however you guys want to do it. But getting into this game, it's scary now, Sal, because as of 15 minutes ago, again, J.C. Latham is out. Tre'Davious Sweat is out. So 2 big guys again.
Sweat's out too officially?
Yes, Sweat's out officially too. So, as per PFF, just a couple stats before we get into the talking of the game. Titans are allowing 5th most rush yards by a running back. So Jonathan Taylor, watch out. Colts are allowing the 6th most targets to running backs. Titans are allowing 7th most targets and 4th most receptions to wide receivers. Titans are allowing 7th most receiving yards to a wide receiver. Titans allow the 7th most pass completions and pass attempts per quarterback. Colts have the 3rd most interceptions, and that is tied with the Tennessee Titans. So Colts have nothing really to lose. They're undefeated going into this. It's a division rival. The Titans have everything to lose because if they lose to a division rival, they're already 0-1 in the division, and they're already 0-3. So they got a lot to ride on, especially for Brian Callahan, whether he gets tossed after this game or it just gets a lot hotter in that oven right now. But going into it, plain and simple, you hear from all over the place, from everybody, just unleash Cam Ward. Let Cam Ward be Cam Ward. They haven't thrown the ball really down the field at all. I think his furthest completion really is 19 yards, could be 20 yards, if that. I mean, they're not even stretching the field at all. They're going to try to run the ball, obviously, which can get boring, but I need to see something exciting happening, especially against a division opponent. I don't know if they're waiting for it or not, but yeah, they went up against 2 tough defenses in Denver and the Rams. But I mean, the Colts are no slouch either. And if you're going to play bully ball and you're going to have a division opponent come into there, you got to open up the playbook a little bit. And I'm hoping to see that this weekend.
Yeah. From, a standpoint of the grand scheme of things, as far as if we're going to get rid of this coach or not, it's just a really unfortunate place to be in right now. Like I texted this to my dad last night. Like, I just don't know what I want to see this Sunday. You know what I mean? Because he made a good point, and I think it's the right point. Every time this team wins, you're probably going to get another at least 4 games from this coach, and it's just going to prolong the inevitable, which is when it's all on the line. And you know this, Jarrett. Like, you know this. You were stone cold sober on that bridge on Sunday, and you wanted him gone, and he needs to be gone as soon as possible. It's fucking the middle of September. I don't want to just I want to be able to root for this team, but rooting for this team as this guy is the play caller is just taking step backwards, man.
It's crazy. It's crazy to me, not to cut you off, but it's crazy to me that you hear Cam Ward stand on a podium and say, it's really not a coach's fault that we're losing because guys are not doing what's right. A coach can't coach penalties. A coach can't just jump off sides. So I get that whole point, but a coach can put you in the right position to throw the ball and make plays and not call idiotic plays at certain times in the game. Whether it's Cam Ward switching the play and going through the rookie struggles, which I kind of highly doubt, besides the fact of what we heard from Teron Davenport where he changed the goal line plays, that's fine. But when you're in those situations, you got to be able to adapt. And Calvin Ridley's another guy that's going to be called out. But
yeah, I mean, I think that's just Cam Ward being the stand-up, just class act that he is, where he's never going to inflict any blame to anybody that he considers above him in a leadership type standpoint. So I think that's just him being the number one professional that we know him to be. But you could just see on the sideline the couple times they panned to him against Denver. I wasn't able to watch any sort of highlights of last week's because it just brought me too much sadness. But you can just see kind of by the look of his face that he wasn't thrilled about the kind of style of offense that he's playing in. And I touched on in the post game on week 1, like it's almost as if he was right back at his high school where, he had to fight for throwing downs. I'm not only fucking fight for throwing downs that weren't obvious to the entire world. Like it's just, what makes a bad offensive line look even worse? When you give them obvious passing downs. You know what I mean? Because there's so much you can do from a scheming standpoint and expose a team's weakness when you know what they're going to do. It's like knowing the pitch that's coming.
Yeah.
And it's never going to help them. And I've had plenty of fears already about Latham because he seemed to get bullied a lot last year, even though he was on what we were told was, not his natural position. but I saw him get bullied way too much. And, now he can't even get on the field. And I'm shocked about this Sweat news, which I just saw for certainty that it came out like 20 minutes ago, because he said in the locker room he's definitely playing. So it's like, I don't even know. It's just an unfortunate thing, man. It's like
we're fighting this early in the year.
Yeah, it's like you're hoping to see. You're expecting some normal guy to hit a home run in a baseball game in the major leagues. Like, it's a miracle if it happens, and if it happens, like, okay, it's never going to happen again. And that's how I feel like with this coach. Like, any success we have is going to have nothing to do with him, because every opportunity we've needed him to make a judgment call that could have huge implications on a game, he's picked the wrong side of the coin. And not only the wrong side of the coin, the side of a coin that nobody else in the league, I would assume, would ever pick. So it's sad. It's sad. I want to be excited about watching this team. And as long as this guy's in charge of calling the offense, there's just nothing to be excited about whatsoever. And maybe you can tell me if there is.
There's not. And just looking at it, the Colts are averaging, giving up 18 points per game, and that's right where we are anyway, because we can't get over that 16 to 19 hump. But the game plan is going to change too now, Sal. You have your right guard, you have your right tackle out. Yeah,
is it though?
It's going to be the same thing as last year, because now you're going to have to keep tight ends in, whether they're chipping, whether they're going to have to help out the right hand side, whether Tony Pollard's going to have to be on his right hand side and chip the help out whoever the swing tackle is going to be on the right hand side this week. Who knows? But that's going to alter stuff, because if you want to open up those lanes in the middle of the field and you want Gunner and Chig on either side, and now they got to focus on blocking to give Cam Ward time, it's going to alter everything. And then the wide receivers, could they get open? And when they get open, can they catch the ball?
Did they even try that last week, though? I feel like they didn't add any max protect at all last week. He looked like I mean, I saw, this is what I tweeted, dude. Like, their offensive line grade was like a 5.
Oh yeah,
and it was, and the number 31 last week was like a 35. We're talking a unbelievable, unimaginable difference from them to the second worst. Something's wrong here. These guys are not getting open because they're not being schemed properly to get open. This kid is too good of a quarterback. He's got too much accuracy, too much poise to be able to look this fucking bad. I mean, it's just absurd, man. It's just absurd. And I just, to go through a whole nother 15 game or 14 games and then another off season, it's like, let's get the ball rolling now, man. And then there's people there that would at least give you a little bit more excitement about the team having a little bit more motivation to go out there and play, because they don't give a damn about this guy. You could just see it. You could just see it. They don't give a shit about him at all.
I mean, for me, saying that we need to unleash Cam Ward and be who he is, we're averaging 102 pass yards a game with the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's not helping anybody in that organization, whether it's receivers or anything. And people are going to come at us and say, oh my God, guys, he's got no protection. But he rolls out and he can actually extend the play like we haven't seen before. We've seen him throw the crossbody. Do we want him to throw him the crossbody? Absolutely not. But we know he's capable of doing it now. But he's extending the plays. His footwork his eyes are always down the field. He admit that he lost, Alec Eilemander and Ridley last week. He didn't get through his progressions at times. But I mean, that's going to come to him eventually, but it's the people that are actually catching the ball and the quarterback. I mean, not the quarterback coach, the offensive coordinator and the head coach that are actually calling the plays. Did you see Josh Allen yesterday? He hit 9 different receivers yesterday. All those guys yesterday, they were lined off the ball, and he was throwing quick slants. They were getting 7 yards, quick slants here, quick slants there. All of a sudden, hitch right down the middle of the field, and they got yak. We don't see any of that creativity at all in this offense. And this is what Titan fans want to see. The creativity, the getting open, letting the guys run with the ball instead of just getting tackled in the same spot. Wide receivers in the same spot, tight ends in the same spot. We need to see more creativity, and I'm hoping that changes this weekend, because you have a divisional opponent that comes into Nashville that wants to stomp you and bury you in the division, right? That's buried us for a very long time now. So, I mean, I'm very curious, because if we lose this game on Sunday, I honestly think that is I'm going to say the outline is on the wall. The outline, it's there. It's there. The stencil's there, but now we're going to start tracing it. that he's going to be out there, because this is a monumental game for us to start the season 0-3. No team has ever. I think it was the 2018 Texans started 0-3 and they made the playoffs just because of the simple fact of we were in that division too. So that's the only team that made it. You're not making the playoffs. It's just losing from there on out. No team has been successful starting 0-3. So hopefully it changes on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a statistic yesterday that kind of, again, puts everything in perspective. I think PFF has the Jets actually with the worst offensive line in football. If we're not second or third, then I don't know how reliable they are. But regardless, they have a pretty horrible offensive line right now too. And they are still in the upper percentile as far as how many explosive plays they'll have in any given week. And I don't know who to credit to that, but what it basically tells me is, if you're a good offensive play caller, if you're a good head coach, then even if you have some liabilities in your protection, you can find ways to get guys open. Just the same issues I had with all the other OCs we've had that have come and gone because of how horrible they were. And I'm not looking for any pats on the back, but I pretty much saw the writing on the wall with a lot of these coordinators and coaches, for that matter, really early on, because it's really not that difficult. You can either get your guys in the end zone or you can't. If you don't have any talent that's worth getting in the end zone, then that's one thing. But people try to act like this team has been in rebuild mode for the last 10 years. They really haven't. They've tried to put their best foot forward to put the best roster on the field every single year, but there's always been one glaring issue every year. Now, offensive line has been probably the biggest consistently, but there's been times like when A.J. Brown was gone, we had no real offensive pass catcher that was a threat. Then Derrick Henry goes, and now everything's out of the loop because he's the only guy we depend on offensively. So it's like there's always something that's missing. But, the chickens have come home to roost, man. This guy is, without a shadow of a doubt, so in and over his head. We all know there's no universe where this guy sees his job in place next year. So I'm trying to wrap my head around what the weight is, because it's almost as if we're acting like this is his first year, and we all know it's not, and we all know how depressing it is to watch this team. So the upper management, they need to find some kind of spark. Because, we saw last week, Jarrett, that place was embarrassingly empty for the home opener. I don't care how fucking hot it was. This is the home opener. You just got the number one overall pick, a quarterback, and you barely even had half of the upper section filled. That's just so sad. And I can understand it now. Like I said, I get it. But if they want that to change, like, no one's going to want to show up for this fucking guy who's going to run every passing down and pass on every running down. It's like, It's an embarrassing fucking thing to sit and watch.
Oh, it really is. And it's sad that we actually saw 70-30, 60-40 Rams fans last weekend. I mean, from one end zone where they ran out all the way, I would say, to the opposing 40. It was majority Rams fans, and we were right there involved with it. So, I mean, you heard whose house is this, Rams house, how many times. It really is embarrassing, and something needs to change. And we get the frustration. We talked to a lot of people. We talked to Rossi. He said the same shit over there, and he had his rant after the game. So, I mean, we get it. We understand it. But something needs to change. And like you said, at what point, if they even do fire Brian Callahan, what's the point of firing him now until after the season? What is it going to do for us? The only thing I say is that I don't want
me root for the team, Jarrett. I can't root for this guy.
No, I mean, of course not. And a lot of people are saying it too. But at what point is it going to do good for us? To me, I just don't want to hurt Cam Ward and kind of turn into like Marcus Mariota did, where it's just a revolving door of offensive coordinators and head coach, offensive coordinator, head coaches. I think Cam Ward's smart enough that he can adapt to that. But, building in the trenches, like we always said, and building the fronts, we think we have it. But, man, have we missed on free agencies. And, man, I mean, the only offensive lineman that we have right now is Peter Skoronski. I think he's the best one so far out of 2 weeks. I mean, you spent a ton of money on Cushenberry, who's done nothing but get blown up a couple times in the last 2 weeks. Dan Moore is still a huge question mark and a liability at the left tackle's position. Kevin Zeitler's hurt, and he's turned to be a liability. And J.C. Latham, a number one overall pick, 7th overall, or whatever it is. So, I mean, we try our best, but we get screwed every single time we do it. And that's what's frustrating, because you see all these free agent signings from other teams and draft picks hitting. And it's just, we have a cloud over us that we cannot either retain and draft and do things right for our offensive line. I mean, something's got to change at some point.
Yeah, and obviously, a common thing we hear whenever we see this revolving door of coaches and coordinators is, and I understand the point, how often do we want to see Marcus Mariota see a new coordinator? How often do we want to see Will Levis see a new coordinator? How often do we want to see this guy with a new coordinator? Here we go again, Cam Ward, But the problem is no one that they brought in during any of these quarterbacks' careers have really let their quarterback be themselves. So it's one thing if we're letting these guys throw 45 fucking times a game and they're just making bad decision after bad decision, and we're trying to lay it on the line, or we're trying to blame the coordinator for his lack of understanding when to not throw it into traffic and etc. But I mean, we're talking about a guy who is treating his number one overall pick as if he is some 5th round flyer that they're taking. And it's just like, well, what is the point then? You know what I mean? Obviously, your offensive line that you talked about being improved has been an absolute disaster and has regressed again. But, at a certain point, someone's got to come in and run an NFL-style offense. This team, Jarett, has not had a real NFL-style offense in
since Arthur Smith, that 19 and 20 year was special. That was still Derrick Henry running 30 times a game, and you had your occasional big play from A.J. Brown. He was all pro that year, and we were tossing the ball all with Corey Davis and A.J. Brown.
Yeah,
we were putting up 34 points a game. We were lighting it up, and that's what we want to bring back to the Titans. And I don't see that happening, and I think the reason why we're doing it is because we have a no-name offensive coordinator. We have a first-time head coach that's calling plays, guys that haven't done it. That's why I've been advocating for veteran coaches. You could say, hey, you got to give these guys a shot, so you see what happens. This team needs veteran leadership to take us to the next level. Whether that's Kingsbury, we're going to get involved with all that stuff later on in the year if this progresses to get worse. So I don't want to get involved with that too much because it's only week 3, but here we are talking about it already because we're staring 0-3 in the face,
man. Dude,
we're staring 0-3 in the face.
And we knew the season was going to be probably, not a Jaden Daniels, CJ Stroud type rookie season. But unfortunately, you know why it has no chance of being like that? Because we don't have a high caliber play caller. And those teams obviously did, and that's the unfortunate part about it. But this is just this is as bad as it could ever be.
It makes you not want to get excited as much as we're diehards and we're going to sit down on the couch, watch the games every Sunday. It just makes you just say, all right, here's just another game. Let's see what we're going to get, instead of sitting there telling everybody, get out of the room. I'm locked in on this right now. I mean, that's just the annoying part right now, how we're at. In our fandom, and we're diehard, so it's depressing for us because we wear all this stuff to work, we wear everything, we support our teams, and the product on the field is not what we want it to be. Yeah. So let's get in our game picks.
Absolutely. So
you want to start us off?
Well, I mean, you got the
I got the graphics. So you want me to go? Listen,
you can go first.
I honestly don't see it happening, guys. In my opinion, like I said, I have the under. It's 43.5. Got Shane, throw that up there. I think the Titans are going to be losing this game. It's going to be another tight one, low scoring, 23-16. I never really picked them to lose, but until they show me that something's clicking, as much as I hate to read this graphic, I want to kind of be right at one point because the Colts haven't punted all season. The Colts kicker has 32 points on the year. The Titans have 31 points this year. Yeah. So the kicker is outscoring what we have on offense. So, I mean, you can come at me all you want. I would never. I'm going to be sitting on that couch right there watching the Titans on Sunday, and I'm going to be rooting for them to win. But theoretically, this prediction, 23-16. I think the Colts keep rolling, and the Titans got to figure out what the hell they're doing, and hopefully they prove me wrong. So,
yeah, I'm gonna go Titans 14, and I think the Colts are gonna put up probably about 28. I think they'll a couple, maybe one or two times where this team would always be conservative. They'll probably take a chance. They'll probably muster up 2 touchdowns, but they're very likely going to lose because they don't have any advantages. They're never going to have any advantages with this head coach. And when you can't ever have an advantage, you're just going to always be playing against the other team and yourself, and you're never going to overcome having to play against the other team and yourself. So until this team eliminates, the plague that is forcing them to play against themselves, I'm going to assume they're going to lose. So I don't really care anymore predicting they're going to lose because of how upset I am about the current situation we're in. But yeah, I foresee us maybe getting 2 touchdowns and the Colts getting 4 and maybe a field goal or 2. And I need to come out of this with something.
Yeah.
That meme, that Denzel meme. I'm leaving here with something. Either we fucking shit on this team, and I say to myself, you know what? Screw it. This team has fired a coach after a playoff loss anyway. Cam can muster up 7-8 wins. We got our first division. I'm going to try to get on board, or we're going to lose again in a horrible fashion, and it has to be it. It has to be it because we matter as much as anything else, man.
We're matter the most. Are you kidding me? Us fans,
you know
we
what
put
I mean?
asses in the seats and we buy the merchandise. That's what drives everything.
So it doesn't matter how many mistakes they made before. It doesn't matter how embarrassed they are to admit it so early on in this relationship. If they get embarrassed this weekend, it's got to be it because no one is going to take this team seriously, not like anyone does anyway. But continuing to let this guy trot this team out with this new quarterback who are trying to call the guy with his fucking family in the box every week and playing Army Navy football every week, it's an embarrassment. And we need, if we can control this embarrassment in any way, we have to, and continue to let this guy call the plays is the fastest way to eliminate this embarrassment because nobody else can be this conservative as a coach.
No.
In my life, I've never seen anyone so conservative. So we'll see how things shape up.
And that's definitely the best way to do it, guys. You can agree with us, disagree with us, throw everything in the comments, throw your game predictions in the comments. Make sure you hype that video, like that video as well. And if you haven't subbed, please sub, unsubscribe, resubscribe. Everything is greatly appreciated. We are bringing back our Guess That Titan. We haven't done it all week because we were in Nashville as well. So I'm going to bring it back. You can throw my graphic up there first, Shane.
Oh,
come on, Sal. I had to get you on the board again. Man.
I know, but this is just
had to get you on the board.
This is too easy, man.
Come on,
you might as well show me Marcus Mariota at that point. That is Kendall Wright out of Baylor.
To make it a little more interesting, do you remember what year we drafted him? At least
I believe that was 2013.
Close, 12. I'll give it to you. At least I got you on the board this week.
Yeah, I mean, I'm embarrassed to say that's what got me on the board, but
that's all good.
Maybe next week you can show me fucking Derek Mason. I can get that one next week. All right, Shane.
All right, that's another cupcake for me. It is. That's my boy Samar Roll.
Yes, it is. But I don't. I figured you were going to give me
another
a
Titan that
softball.
made me another Titan that made me a Titan fan was him.
I gotta be honest though, outside of maybe I remember him being 21. But if you show me a picture of him without the jersey, probably wouldn't have because this is like you're a couple years older than me, but this is like 7-8 years old for me. So like I know, but I wasn't as dialed in as I am now, obviously. But all right, a couple good ones this week. Couple good ones. You want to start us off as well for our game? Oh no, we just did our game.
We did our game picks.
Yeah. So no, listen, felt like it's been 20 minutes, over half hour. We're gonna keep everyone up to date. I'm sure this next post game is going to be another eventful one. It's just going to be you this week. Okay.
I'm sorry to say that just because of the fact of wife's birthday present. The Giants are playing the Chiefs in town, and I'll be at that game. So
hopefully I have enough to stay.
My rant will be on Tuesday, so tune into Sal.
Yes, I'll hopefully be able to muster up enough words to be able to fill a quick post game. But yeah, no, then that I'll have the floor to completely violate this team if they lose again. And no, just hopefully that doesn't happen. But as always, guys, like Jared's mentioned multiple times, please make sure to like, comment, follow. That new hype button is really cool. We're picking up a little steam, and we want to continue to do that, guys. We're trying to be as consistent as we can, giving you the most, I don't want to say unbiased opinion about the Titans, but the most unfiltered and raw and genuine opinion we can give you. There's no fabrication in anything that we say. So, and I know a lot of you guys appreciate that. So we'll again keep you informed, and we will see you. You'll guys see me Sunday. You'll see Jarett Tuesday, and maybe we'll have some happy stuff to talk about. Right? We'll wish for that. Right?
We're hoping.
All right, guys. Have a great rest of your week. We'll catch you on the flip, and as always, tighten up. Shane, you can send us out.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast Talking Titans on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.